disinformation campaigns and cyber attacks. When Armenians go to the polls in June, they alone should choose their future. We also look forward to Yerevan hosting a first-ever joint summit in May, which will be a testimony of our deepening partnership. Azerbaijan remains an important partner on energy and connectivity. We want to deepen our ties and will resume negotiations of a new bilateral cooperation agreement soon. Georgia shows no signs of reversing democratic backsliding. Ministers had an explicit message that Georgia needs to change the course. And of course, also, genuine engagement in human rights dialogue would be indication that they want to change the course. And finally, Sudan. 3 years into the war, the country faces unprecedented death and displacement. While donors last week pledged 1.5 billion euros in aid, far more is needed. The EU's priorities are threefold. First, push the ceasefire efforts. Second, advance civilian transition. And third, strengthen accountability. Progress on the EU's initiative on protecting critical infrastructure would be an important step. And together with the Netherlands, the European Union is preparing to support a UN ceasefire monitoring mechanism. We also reached a political agreement to impose new sanctions on those benefiting from the war, because as long as regional powers fuel and profit from the war will drag on. Ministers also addressed many other issues, including Council conclusions on energy and climate diplomacy. The wars in the Middle East and Ukraine show how important it is to diversify supplies and reduce dependencies on fossil fuels. We have many more important topics today, but I will stop here and ready to take your questions.
Thank you, High Representative. We start on the back with Sylvia, and then we move to the front.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sylvia Yusuf from El País newspaper. On the proposal, on the suspension of the agreement with Israel, you've mentioned that the discussion will continue. Did you, even if there was not enough votes for a QMV, I understand you saw a shifting in the mood? I mean, were there more countries asking for something, or something eventually? There were some measures like Sweden and France asked for measures outside the agreement that could be done, stopping the commerce with settlements. And if I might ask you on Iran, if I understood properly, you will propose sanctions against those who impede the free navigation in Hormuz. Could you specify what kind of sanctions and the timetable on that? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. I didn't see the shifting of positions in the room regarding the suspension of the agreement. Yes, there were new proposals on the table regarding the trade, so I promised to take this back to the Commissioner of Trade, because in order to discuss that, if you look at the legal provisions, then we need an Commission proposal on the table. So I will take that back. When it comes to the sanctions on Iran, as you know, we already have sweeping sanctions on Iran. Now the new proposal is to address also those who are engaged in limiting the freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. So the work is ongoing. There is political agreement, but there also needs to be a legal preparation for that. So we aim for May Foreign Affairs Council.
Thank you, High Representative. Christine Mundra from Deutsche Welle. Spain's foreign minister told us this morning that the European Union, that Europe's credibility is being compromised by the inaction over Israel's violation of human law, as he put it. And I just wondered if you could corroborate that as you engage the EU's partners around the world. Are you experiencing that partners around the world are feeling that the European Union is exercising double standards, it not taking action against Israel? Could you corroborate that? Is Europe's credibility sinking on the global stage?
What I experience actually going around the world is the opposite. I see that our credibility is more, is raising actually regarding all the topics, because we see what is happening in the world, and who is credible and reliable partner is the European Union. If we see what is happening on different spheres on the Palestine issue, we have been the biggest supporters of Palestinians in terms of supporting the Palestinian people, in terms of supporting the Palestinian Authority, in terms of supporting the Palestinian refugees, in terms of supporting also the reconstruction of Palestine. Every time that somebody raises this double standards issue, I also ask beforehand to see how much they are doing for Gaza and Palestinians, and usually European Union action always trumps that. Yes, it is true that there are a lot of requirements also for Europe, especially now. I mean, everywhere I go, everybody is turning to us because US is withdrawing aid from everywhere, and it's clear that we can't do everything. But we also have our worries when it comes to Ukraine, where we are asking our partners, who all ask us to be there for all the crises in the world, to come up with support. We are the biggest supporters in Sudan. We are the biggest supporters in Somalia. I mean, in terms of the mission there. I mean, I can list from all over the world. But where we have a problem, which is Ukraine. We are alone, and we are the biggest supporters there. Not completely alone, that is also not true, but this is that we also have our worries. So I would really push back on this issue, because we are doing a lot. Yes, we don't have a full agreement on all these issues, but suspension of the association agreement, will it stop the expansion on the West Bank? This is probably also not true. But at the same time, I mean, the proposals are there, but we don't have an agreement. So let's focus on those issues where we actually do have an agreement, and there's a lot.
Olivier, AFP.
Thank you, Olivier Beau from AFP, Agence France Presse. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Sorry. On the Ukraine and the Druzhba pipeline, President Zelensky just announced that it will resume its operation very soon. So do you expect now an agreement on the loan, on the 90 billion euros loan tomorrow at the Coreper?
Yes, like I said, we expect an agreement in 24 hours. So I don't want to jinx it. I hope that everything goes well, because we have seen some turns in this file. But this is the agreement that we had in December, and also, I mean, resuming this is a promise that Ukraine made. So hopefully, all the obstacles are removed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Also not here to make you jinx things, but I'm going to follow up from my AFP colleague's question about Druzhba. President Zelensky has said that it now can resume operation. Seeing as the Commission has spent money and sent experts to get Druzhba back up and running, can you tell us now, also because the SBU has blown up a pumping station in Russia, can you tell us now if oil can flow through Druzhba to Hungary as things stand? And if not, again following up on my AFP colleague's question, could that pumping station explosion risk jeopardizing your happy hopes for the next 24 hours? Thank you.
I may look like an oil expert, but I'm definitely not giving you an answer whether the oil will flow now, because I'm not an expert. What I can say is that, the promise was made by Ukraine, and that was the obstacle for our Hungarian colleagues, Slovakian colleagues. So this is the promise. It should not derail the decision.
We move on the other side, Mom Shil, yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Momchu Injov, Brussels correspondent for Club Z Media from Bulgaria. High Representative, after Viktor Orban suffered a defeat, a Russia sympathetic Prime Minister will come soon to power in Bulgaria after the parliamentary elections. So is there a fear of new Orban from Bulgaria, especially in the policy towards Ukraine?
Thank you. We are all 27 democracies, which means that we have elections, and elections people will choose their future. Before we do not have a government in place, and we have not seen how the new government acts, we will not, go or jump ahead of the events. I think it's important that everybody comes to this table with the genuine interest in cooperation and also compromise, because it requires compromising for everybody. And I think, in the beginning, everybody's treated with equal, welcoming of new colleagues around the table to have, agreements and cooperation with.
Independent media source, Euroscope from Georgia, Tamara Nutsubidze. I'm very interested to ask you what is the general mood of ministers regarding to the situation in Georgia, and also, for example, regarding to targeted sanctions. Do they believe that targeted sanctions could be an effective tool to encourage Georgian dream to return to path of European integration in line with the will of the people, and to ensure that those responsible are held accountable for their actions? Thank you.
Yes, if you ask me the general mood, then I can answer yes, the general mood is there, because if we have pushed for sanctions, for example, regarding those people who are, committing these actions against opposition or free media, then we have had 26 countries on board and 1 against. Now, the question of the recent developments is also a question regarding Georgia. Does it bring, new momentum in this regard? I can't run ahead of the events, but let's see. Definitely, there was a discussion, a very good discussion today about these things, also about the engagement, because some were saying that we should engage more. The ultimate understanding is what we should definitely engage more with the Georgian people, also outside Tbilisi, to show the people that European Union is there, and really, we are coming with good thoughts and will. But at the same time, also to give very clear messages to the government of Georgia that the direction that they are taking is not in accordance with the values that Europe represents. So this was the discussion today, and we will revisit the sanctions once we have new governments around the table. Thank you.
Take another couple of questions. We take the colleague here and then we move on the other side.
Thank you very much. Vibor Vlajnic, Croatian Radio, Television, HRT. Madam High Representative, is there any specific date or period when you expect the approval, a formal approval of the 20th package of sanctions against Russia? And also, is there anything you could tell us about the 21st package of sanctions? Because Croatian Foreign Minister today mentioned that it's already ministers already started considering the 21st package. Thank you.
Thank you. If you ask me the date of the 20 sanctions package, then I say it's long overdue. So I hope that we can move fast considering the new momentum we have. We have also taken the approach that we are working regarding the sanctions on shadow fleet on a rolling basis, so we are not putting together big packages, but as soon as we know about the ships, we're going to put them on. But of course, also there were ministers raising today also new ideas for the 21st package of sanctions once the 20th package is adopted. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Marie from the Financial Times. My question is a bit broader and bigger, I suppose. But if you look at the Druzhba dispute that's been going on for quite a while now, can you tell us what you think about who actually holds the leverage in Europe right now? I mean, is it the EU? Is it Kiev, or you know, is it member states still reliant on Russian oil? And if you could reflect a little bit on that, that would be very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. What is clear is that what really has an effect on the Russian economy is anything we do on oil, because it's their main revenue for this war. And of course, what is happening in Iran and the Middle East is actually giving them some breathing space, because the oil price is going up. But it is not as big as they need in their budget gap and requirements. So that is also very, very clear. Now, the broader dispute, I think, is about the Russian energy as such. I mean, we have been vulnerable because we have been dependent on the Russian oil and gas. So our approach and the roadmap has been to get rid of the Russian oil and gas completely. So we still need to work with that, even if the Druzhba pipeline now is being restored. We need to diversify our portfolios, also not to put all the eggs in one basket. That is what we are trying to do.
So who holds the leverage?
Who has the leverage? Over you mean over what? Leverage of
decision making. I mean, when you reflect on the Druzhba situation and the result that is now.
Yes, on the energy roadmap, we have already made the decision. So that is already there. Regarding the Druzhba pipeline, I think right now it is that Ukraine has really fixed this. But in the end, if you are buying Russian oil and gas, then the leverage is with Russia. That's very clear. So if we want to get rid of that leverage, we should not give them this revenue, whether it's via Druzhba or any other means. Yes.
Thank you. We'll take a last question, please.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Kam Mustafaeva, Report News Agency, Azerbaijan. You in the morning, Madam Kallas, in the morning you mentioned that you will discuss how to handle relationship with Azerbaijan. I want to ask if you discuss it. And I have another question on the mining. Foreign Office of Azerbaijan called for expand international help for the mining operation, because life is continues to lost in Karabakh. So are you going to answer that call, or because you already doing that, but maybe expand? Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we discussed also what more can we do in terms of the relationship with Azerbaijan. We need to work more on the issues and strengthen our ties on the issues of common interest, like energy and trade. Azerbaijan has been a very reliable energy partner to European Union countries. And of course, on the demining, we are helping different countries in demining in the world, actually. If the request is there, we are also looking into it, what more can we do, but we didn't have a decision on this today.
Thank you, and this closes our press conference. Have a lovely evening.